This story will cover from then to now and next, all about change, how to turn losers into winners. Fishing in Gökova Bay, a beautiful part of southwest Turkey. In this area there is a project run by award-winning marine biologist Zafer to help fishing communities with its future.
On the inspections, you shouldn't have smaller than this size. And these species are protected species all year round. You are not allowed to catch any of the species as a bycatch.
This is a monk seal, one of the rarest seals in the world. It was to become an amazing part of Zafer's life here in Turkey. Elsewhere in the Mediterranean, monk seals have had a bad time.
Here are the seal caves. These caves, seal cave. There, stay every day there, one seal, one or two seal, every day.
But not today or any day these days. What were safe sanctuaries, as here in Italy, are now explored by increasing numbers of tourists. Caves have been commercialised. Geology is worth a lot of euros. There's nowhere to hide. Many visitors would like to see the extremely rare and shy monk seal. But their very presence is reducing the seal's home drastically.
This may be the only way to see a monk seal on a postcard.
Or in a museum exhibit in Mallorca, Spain. The last monk seals in those Balearic Islands disappeared in the 60s, and today only a total of some 500 survive in the world, with some in the Atlantic. And it's Turkey that's still got reasonable numbers in its wild coastline and living in its secret caves. Zafer Kasılkaya knows the area very well and tells the story with his pictures of a truly amazing individual.
Here today we are in Gökova Bay in Akbük Cove. This is the aerial view of the Akbük Cove. And I'm going to tell you the story of the most famous monk seal in the Mediterranean, Badem. In 2006, we found her stranded in northern Aegean Sea, and there was nothing to do other than taking her to a safe and sheltered place. We asked for help from Seal Research and Rescue Center in Holland, and they immediately came our help, and we built a rehabilitation center. We taught her how to catch an octopus, how to catch a fish, and what to eat, what not to. And at the end of the 5 months, we released her back to wild here in Gökova Bay. At the beginning, we haven't heard anything from her, so that was a good sign. But later, she appeared around the towns, and she rather wants to play with people, she rather wants to close to people. And in the summertime, it's getting really big joy for her and as well as for human being, swimming with a small baby seal, and she was so cute, and all of a sudden she became a kind of an icon in the bay.
Obviously this is not as an interesting a place as the sea and with a mother, but at least she's fed, safe, and perhaps with a promising future. Sensitive whiskers, closable eyelids and nostrils, good teeth for grabbing slippery fish. They all add up to an efficient underwater hunter. The next step was a big one, from Akbuk across Kokova Bay to this quiet, protected spot. Zafer and the Marine Conservation Society had plans.
This was our big dream, putting here the only open water rehabilitation center for mammals in Mediterranean. This is the holding pen of Badem, and she stayed here, especially in summer times, 6 months in summer times, more than 2 years, maybe 3 years. It's an amazing work, to put this holding pen here. Then we put Badem inside, so there was no risk that she can escape. So every autumn, end of October, we released her, just zipping out this thing, and she just came out. You expect her to go away, because after 5-6 months of captivity, she came out, she just dove below, and she came out with a big fish in the mouth, maybe 2-3 kilos, and then a big octopus just showing us that, okay, I can feed myself, no worries. And then she escapes, but not far. She's still around, on the Cedar Islands, her favorite place to go in the summertime, sometimes when she was a pup. So she never leaves, and the gate was open all the time in the winter. And most of the time she comes and sleeps in her platform, because this is a very quiet place. Nobody can come in. She knows that this is her private place that nobody can get in. So even in the winter time when she is free, she was coming here, taking a rest, and go some further distances, even Greek islands, Simi Road. 2 years ago, when we put her back into pen in the high season, her behavior totally changed, and she was pregnant. She made it that mating season, and when we put her inside, she was pregnant, and that also was a big responsibility, feeding her, because we were on short on kind of a good quality fish. But at the end, she gave a birth, but it was a little premature. Though the pup was in the good size, that was a stillbirth, and we took the pup, sent for necropsy. But Badem, she was totally devastated. But usually, it's not a kind of unusual thing for pinnipeds. Normally, their first birth was a kind of stillbirth. There's a big statistics about this. And the stillbirth is very high in their first, pregnancy. And since she saw that we took the pup, and she came on the beach where we are staying on the small trailer, and she stayed there for a week, that we're gonna, give her pup back. And during that period, she cried whole week. So it was quite, disappointing for us seeing her like this in her first, pregnancy. That was a big, historical moment for rehabilitation of Mediterranean monk seal. First time a rehabilitated monk seal was turned in the wild and got pregnant and was about to give the first pup in this, critically endangered population in the world, but it couldn't happen. After then, of course, we released her. She was free, but she didn't leave the pen because she was still with memories and emotional stage with her first pup. Then later, she was still swimming around, going Akbuk, other bays. This is where the holding pen is. So we kept her during the summer season right here. And in the morning we were here because this is a very, famous place of her. She was spending a lot of time in this Akbuk Cove, and also Cedar Island, where we saw the Cleopatra Beach. This is also one of favorite place of her. You see, here is the beach. That is the pier that the boats comes. So this is a very famous area of Badem. In fact, she discovered the Akyaka River, Azmak. You see, here is the Akyaka town, and that's the famous river, because there are a lot of eels. Because we fed her with eels in rehabilitation, so she's crazy about eels, freshwater eels. So they say that she spent over 2 weeks inside the river And once she get in the river, she was quite skinny, and when she was living, she was quite, fat. So she's very, famous about hunting freshwater eels in Azmak River as well. So fishermen tying their boats along the Azmak, they have a lot of, memories about them, the eel in the mouth coming out of the water.
Whether it's eels or other kinds of fish, there can be problems with human fishermen. Competition perhaps, or net damage. Or with Badem, now much bigger, something else.
Here we are in Akbük Cove in Gökova Bay, and we're on the beach. It's a lovely place. And this small fishing boat has very important role in Badem's life in Akbük, because this is one of the favorite boats when she was a pup, and she climb up this boat and sleep almost whole day and then hunt in nighttime. But since she sleeps in whole day on the boat, the owner was really, annoyed by the situation and calling me many times. She's sleeping on my boat and I couldn't use it. And in later years, as she get a little bigger and bigger, and she tried to capsize the boat while she was trying to climb on it. So we paid many times to boat owners, for this unpleasant situation, but we still kept this small boat here, so she really enjoyed to sleep on it.
Suzanne Masters knew Badem very well too.
So Susan, you were the last person saw her from a very close distance. You were swimming there, and I was watching over you and Seal. So how did you feel about that?
Well, it's really amazing to swim so close to such a really big animal. I think you can't understand how big she is until you're close. And she was just watching. I think I wasn't a very exciting person for her to get in and swim with because I'm quite a quiet swimmer. I'm really swimming, I'm not splashing in the water playing. But you can see it's a really beautiful place to swim. The water's really clear and there's lots of fish here, so she has food to eat. So this was a really beautiful place for her to live.
After that, Badem moved around to a harbour at Datça, which is part of Turkey. And then probably swam across to the nearby island of Simi, near Rhodes, in Greece. On Simi, a seal came onto the boats, as Badem did with Zafer, here in Turkey. Since then, no news. But that's probably good news, and perhaps Badem has now mated and given birth this time successfully to a baby Badem. That probably looks like she did at the beginning of this amazing story. Much will depend on protecting safe places for monk seals to prosper in Turkey. The authorities are doing their best, and education is an important ingredient in their efforts, whether it be the food, the place, local attitudes, or the potential impact of tourism. All these are issues that could affect this highly endangered species. Marine Protected Areas, MPAs, are part of the solution. As the famous Badem showed, it should be possible to live together, particularly when tourists are involved, as we'll see next time.